What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here to solve all of the UFC's biggest problems. We're going to be sorting out the title picture of every single division. These are all the title fights and number one contender fights that need to get made for all of these weight classes. Now, some of these divisions are pretty set. I'm not going to make new title fights if they're already booked, like Ankalaev, Pereira, Merab, and Corey. But all these other weight classes, I'm going to sort out who needs to be fighting for the belt, what contenders need to fight each other to determine who's next up in the division, and other big names that are in that title discussion, what you should do with them, okay? Let's get into this, dude. Starting, and this is my specialty. This is my fucking jam. This is what I do. This is what he does. So, trust me, all of these, if the UFC doesn't do these, they're literally tripping. And if they do, it's because Dana's watching the videos. There's no other explanation, all right? First one to talk about is the Flyweight division. Now, the title fight is very, very obvious in this weight class. Alexandre Pantoja, brother. You had a good run. You had a nice little fucking run there, man. You got pound for pound top 5. People are glazing you now. I'm sorry, brother. The train has reached the end of the tracks. Joshua Van is going to he's not going to slime out Pantoja, but I hope Joshua Van wins this. I think that would be the best for the division. And I feel like this is going to be the co-main event in December. It seems like that's the date the UFC really wants. Maybe if the UFC goes all out, they put this as the main event of like UFC Brazil in October. I wouldn't be mad at that, as this is like the headliner of a fight night. That would be really fucking cool, honestly. But knowing the UFC, this is probably going to be the co-main event of that December pay-per-view, or potentially the main event if they really have nothing big to do at the end of the year, but we'll talk about that later. I think Pantoja Van, December, October, November, very, very obviously what you do next. And I think the number one contender fight in that division should be Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. Manel Kape pulled out of the Brandon Royval fight, so we know he's recovering from an injury. Brandon Royval is going to need a little bit of time to heal up from the absolute war that he went to against us. We bombed him with an overhand in round 3. We damaged him really badly. I think Royval versus Kape is a great fight. I think this would be a great fight night main event. And like I said, this is the number one contender fight. I'm not mad at the idea of Brandon Moreno versus Manel Kape, if the UFC does that, and maybe Royval versus Kai Kara France. Those are good fights as well, but me personally, I want to see Manel Kape, Brandon Royval. I want to see that as a 5-round fight, and I think either way you slice it, you're getting an entertaining title fight. And honestly, if Brandon Royval does win this fight and the UFC doesn't want to give him a title shot, just give it to Moreno. He's on a win streak. Fuck it, dude. Or give it to Tyra if he beats Jung Seung Park or whoever the fuck he's fighting this weekend. There's a lot of options at Flyweight. I think the best number one contender fight you can make that's a fresh matchup is Royval versus Kape, though. Okay? Let's move on. Let's talk about the Bantamweight division. Obviously, Bantamweight's pretty sorted. I think the title fight, Corey versus Merab. Hey, guys, I'm very excited for this fight, guys. And it's, guys, please buy the pay-per-view, guys. It's gonna be really tough fight, guys. Corey gonna defend every takedown. The rest of the division, I think there's really only 2 names you need to sort out, and that is Petr Yan, and that's Umar Nurmagomedov. I think Umar Nurmagomedov is the guy that is going to have the best chance to beat Merab in a rematch. I think Yan is the most deserving of that rematch right now. And I think in the meantime of Corey fighting Merab in October, there is time to make another Yan fight, and I want to see O'Malley versus Yan too. Now's the fucking time. Yan and O'Malley. I don't know why the UFC did not make this instead of the O'Malley-Merab immediate rematch. I wasn't mad at them giving O'Malley another title fight because it's not like he's skipping over someone more deserving. But honestly, it would have been way better if it was a fucking Yan versus O'Malley instead of Marcus McGlee randomly getting to fight Petr Yan. Because I understand that he's on a 3-fight winning streak and beating Figueiredo and beating Yadong is good. But beating Yadong, that's holy fuck, pause, bro. Oh my fucking God, please edit that out. But I think a definitive win that would really guarantee Yan should be next for Merab. Because I don't know, it just doesn't interest me, dude. Yan versus Merab 2 does not interest me whatsoever. But if he goes out there and he beats Sean O'Malley, like definitively beats Sean O'Malley, maybe looks more improved, than we thought, then okay, you cannot deny him. You have to give him that title shot. And that's time in between now and this Sandhagen-Merab fight, which is in October, which is kind of far away. So I think Jan versus O'Malley 2 would be a great fight night main event. I think this would be a sick 5-round co-main event to a pay-per-view. There's a lot of options you can do with this. I think this is a big fight that needs to happen in this division. The first fight was so fucking good as well. Whether you think O'Malley won or you think Jan won, the first fight was so good. We have to do it again, bro. We need a rematch, all right, man? Dude, imagine not giving me a fucking title elimination bout, all right? As for Umna, what do you do with Umna? I'm just gonna say it like it is, dude. Hitler versus Stalin is the matchup to make in this division. Umar versus Mario Batista needs to happen. Apparently, this is next, and I like this fight because honestly, I don't know about you guys, I'm rooting for Mario Batista in this fight. I know I made a video 2 days ago saying he's a terrorist of the sport and we can't stand him, blah, blah, blah. I hope he gets chinned. But at the same time, Mario Batista, he would be like almost so unlikable as champion that it would be entertaining. Like, I know he would be active. And Umar fights once a fucking year. So, honestly, dude, I think Umar has the best chance to beat Merab, but I hope that Mario Batista somehow, like, plot armors his way into a title fight because I think that would be really funny to see. And honestly, sometimes the best predictions are just what would be the funniest, most depressing outcome for the UFC. Like Ankalaev Pereira, that type of outcome. Movsar Evloev becoming champ. That type of outcome where it's like, fuck, the UFC would be in shambles. Like Dana White would get on the what's the question? What did I think of Mario Batista winning the belt? Yeah, kid's a superstar. What do you want me to say? The guy's a fucking job. You know what I mean? Like, I really want that fight. So, I think Umar versus Mario Batista is the #1 contender fight that the UFC needs to make. And apparently that's in the works. So, shout out to the UFC, all right? Let's move on to the featherweight division. And thank you, MMA gods. I don't know who's looking down on us, blessing us, but they eliminated the idea of Yair Rodriguez getting a title shot. Because he's oh my god. Go watch the video from fucking 2 days ago. They removed the Aaron Pico Movsar Evloev fight that I also made a video ranting about because it doesn't make any fucking sense. Aaron Pico wasn't even a fucking champion in Bellator. The guy literally was just hyped up in Bellator. He's like Shavkat in Bellator. No big wins, no top 5 wins, didn't win the belt, just aura and edits, and this guy's getting a #1 contender fight. Now those 2 fights have cleared up, we can have a logical fucking division. So the UFC, it's really simple. This should have been the plan from the jump. Give Movsar Evloev a title shot. He's the #1 contender. He's undefeated. He has wins over Diego Lopez, Dan Ige, Aljamain Sterling. These Arnold Allen, these are all top 10 names in the division. And he's not even that boring. The thing about Evloev that pisses me off is, am I an Evloev fan? No. But is he actually boring? Not really, dude. Like, he has boring moments in his fights, but I feel like any UFC fighter, you could kind of nitpick that. Like, let's not act like Volk didn't fucking Mario Batista Jose Aldo. Can we please not act like that didn't happen? Because Movsar Evloev, Aljamain Sterling fight, everyone says it was great. Arnold Allen fight was super entertaining. He knocked down Arnold Allen. He nearly got finished in the 3rd round with those knees. What's the fucking, Diego Lopez fight was great. What's the problem? What is actually the problem here? Movsar Evloev is undefeated. He has Dagestani Russian plot armor. And he's not going to finish Volk. This is great for Volk's legacy. And it's a winnable fight for our GOAT Volkanovski. So this is the logical #1 contender getting a title shot. I know that's a lot to ask for in the modern day UFC, but that would be really great if we could do that before the end of the year. That would be really nice if we could have the #1 contender get a title shot before the end of the year. Who knows? Maybe they're waiting for Yair Volk too. All right. As for Yair Rodriguez, fight Arnold Allen. Genuinely, someone commented this on a video the other day, and I wholeheartedly fucking agree with this. If the UFC doesn't want to give Evloev a title shot because he's boring, give it to Arnold Allen. Because at least he doesn't have an embarrassing fucking loss to Brian Ortega and Volk back-to-back 2 years ago. At least Arnold Allen was on a fucking win streak of 8 wins at one point. So I don't know why Yair Rodriguez is in talks for a title shot. You beat Pitbull. Congrats, kid. Do you want a fucking medal or something? Do you want another custom interim fucking belt, dude? Like, what are you talking about? Yair Rodriguez, Arnold Allen, you could put it as a co-main event to a fight night. You could make it the main event of a fight night. You could put it on pay-per-view. Whatever you want to do with this fight. I think when these guys are both ready from their injuries, this is the fight to determine who's that kind of next up guy after the winner of Lopez and Silva gets a title shot. Like, I'm thinking if I'm the UFC, I'm giving Evloev a title shot. Then the winner of Gene Silva versus Diego Lopez will fight the winner of that. Or if Volkanovski retires, then you can do, Gene Silva. Let's say he beats Diego Lopez. You can do Gene Silva versus the winner of this fight. Gene Silva versus Yair Rodriguez. Amazing fight for the vacant belt. Gene Silva versus Arnold Allen. Amazing fight for the vacant belt. Diego Lopez versus Yair Rodriguez for the vacant belt. Boom! Any way you fucking slice it, the division is kind of fun going forward. And you just match up the losers and the winner of that gets a title shot. It's really not that fucking hard, but the UFC will make it way harder than it needs to be. Listen, kid, these goofballs online don't know what they're talking about. We're giving fucking Lerone Murphy the title shot. Like, deadass, this company makes no fucking sense sometimes. That's what they should be doing. Yair versus Allen, Volk versus Evloev, the winner of Gene Silva and Diego Lopez gets a title shot, and the winner of Rodriguez and Allen gets to fight the winner of that. Done. Problem solved. Let's move on, man. Let's move on to the lightweight division. Now, this is the most complicated division, I would say. I would say right now the most interesting division with the most kind of like options for the champion to fight that are great fights, that are, intriguing matchups. I would say it's lightweight and I would say it's welterweight. So let's solve the lightweight division. The first question is, who is getting the next fight against Ilia Topuria? Who is next for Ilia? I think it should be Arman Tsarukyan in December. I think the main event of the December pay-per-view should be Ilia versus Arman. Arman has been out since fucking UFC 300, dude. We need to get him back in there. But the reason that he's not the clear-cut, every single person is saying Arman should be getting title shot is because he pulled out of the fight against Islam. There's nothing you can do about it. And Dana White literally misspoke. And Arman did not miss weight for that fight. Dana White literally misspoke. He confirmed that he misspoke. Arman confirmed that he talked to Dana and he misspoke. The UFC doesn't even fucking hate Arman Tsarukyan. They've offered him 2 fights. I really feel like Arman Tsarukyan should still get this title shot. He beat Charles Oliveira right after he beat Dariush. So I think Arman Tsarukyan versus Ilia Topuria. Why December? Because Ilia Topuria, for some reason, decides to only fight twice a year, even though he just slimes people out with no problems whatsoever. But the December pay-per-view, I feel like that's always the undeserved kind of, whatever, we'll give this guy a title shot. So maybe it's going to be Gaethje, it's going to be Big Rufus. But I think you look back at like Leon Edwards, Colby Covington, you look back at Shavkat getting a fucking title shot with no top 5 wins against Bilal before it got cancelled. I would say, fuck it, dude. Let's do Ilia versus Arman in December, main event. Co-main event, you do Pantoja versus Van. Boom. That's a fucking amazing pay-per-view. I think Arman should clearly be getting the title shot. He's the number 1 contender. He's on a great win streak. And yeah, I think that's the fight. And it's the most intriguing matchup for Ilia besides Max in a rematch. And I'm not putting Max in this video because he just fought. I think he can fight the winner of any of these matchups and I'll be happy with it. Next problem to address. I don't know why I said addressed. Problem to address is Justin Big Rufus Gaethje. Now, Rufus is sitting around saying he's going to fucking retire if he doesn't get a title shot. He feels disrespected by the company that's given him 2 title shots and he got smashed in both of them. He has 1 win right now, and it's against Rafael Fiziev. Now, I'm actually a bit of a Rufus defender because people act like he's a bum or they act like he is ridiculous asking for a title shot. To be fair to old Gaethje, Dustin Poirier got a fucking title shot for beating Benoit Saint-Denis. And before that, he lost to Gaethje. Gaethje in his last 4 fights is 3-1. He beat Poirier. He beat Fiziev twice. He lost to Max Holloway. Not really that bad of a loss. It's aged pretty well. I feel like Gaethje's not ridiculous to be like, let me see if I can get a title shot out of this. I just don't think he'll get one when there's Max and Arman and now Paddy Pimblett around as well. Like, people do just want to see you fight. So I would say Charles Oliveira, Dan Hooker. What's this kid's name? Dan Hooker? Yeah, we're going to book him against Gaethje. Gaethje Hooker, this fight was already booked to happen, so I know that these guys both agreed to fight each other. I would say let's rebook this, and Gaethje, if you win this, you can have a title shot. That's fair. I feel that's completely reasonable. I'm going to be honest. If Charles Oliveira or Paddy Pimblett or Armin Sarukian or Max Holloway beat Dan Hooker, they would probably get given a title shot by the UFC. So I would say it's only fair to say, listen, Gaethje, we're going to rebook you against the guy you were supposed to fight already. You get a chance to beat him, and if you do that, which I think he would, I think Gaethje would beat Dan Hooker, by the way, then you should give him a title shot. That's fair to me. So maybe put that on the same card as the December pay-per-view, or hear me out on this. December, Islam Makhachev versus JDM main event, Gaethje versus Hooker co-main event, 5 rounds. Oh my fucking God. Imagine the jump from fucking Jones versus 47-year-old Stipe to the next year we get JDM Islam, one of the highest level fights you can get, and the co-main event, instead of Charles Oliveira beating up randomly washed Michael Chandler, you get Gaethje and Hooker for 5 rounds. I'm a fucking genius, dude. Gaethje, Hooker, co-main event of the November pay-per-view. Winner of this gets a title shot. Same card, or potentially around the same time, I would book Charles Oliveira versus Paddy Pimblett. Charles, I'm sorry, brother. I'm feeding you to people that I want a title shot, brother. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. There's no other, I'm not even going to pretend. I don't know, man. Charles Oliveira, dude, he might be coming back, dude. The champion has a name. I'm just going to be real. At this point in his career, brother, I'm giving you to Paddy or I'm giving you to Max. And I think Max just fought. Paddy's probably going to come back sooner. I have a weird feeling Charles Oliveira is going to come back before the year is over. After getting slimed out by fucking Ilya, I think we're going to get Charles versus Paddy Pimblett to give Paddy Pimblett a path to the title, because the fans, the UFC, both of these guys, we all want to see Ilya versus Paddy Pimblett. That's the dream fight for me at lightweight. I want to see Paddy versus Ilya. I think for whatever reason, Paddy Pimblett has fucking plot armor, and I think he would actually do weirdly well against Ilya Topuria. I might pick him. I don't give a fuck, dude. I might pick him, bro. But yeah, I would do Oliveira versus Paddy Pimblett. So if I'm solving lightweight, I'm doing Ilya versus Armin, I'm doing Gaethje versus Dan Hooker, and I'm doing Charles Oliveira versus Paddy Pimblett. And you can match Max Holloway up with Charles Oliveira or Dan Hooker, depending on the outcome of those fights. That's what I would do with the lightweight division. Let's move on to my favorite division, the welterweight division. JDM, baby. There's only one fight, man. There's only one fight to give the champion, and it is Islam Makhachev. Now, here's the thing about this kid. I think he's going to come in looking to grapple. I really do. And there's something to Islam Makhachev spamming the same 2-3 Dagestan joke. There really is. I think he's planning something. I think he's training in Dagestan. Islam Makhachev versus JDM. This is the fight the UFC needs to make. I thought they were going to announce it for October in Las Vegas, but it seems like it's going to be November MSG. So I think a card of JDM versus Islam, Gaethje versus Hooker, potentially Oliveira versus Paddy Pimblett. You could throw some other names on there. Maybe Michael Chandler versus Moicano on that card. I think this MSG card's going to be fucking stacked. I think it's going to be a great fight. And this main event is super high level. I think JDM wins this fight by damage-based decision. I've said that from the jump. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to make more videos glazing JDM over Islam Makhachev. It's not because I'm Australian. I'm biased and I'm correct. He is that good. So this is the first title defense for my GOAT JDM. Mate, fucking Jack Della, bro. He's going to fucking destroy Makhachev, bro. As for the rest of the weight class, okay, I'm going to be nice today. Shavkat Rakhmonov, I think he's a great fighter. I think him versus Sean Brady is a great number 1 contender fight. I don't want to see Kamaru Usman shoehorned into a title fight. I don't want to see fucking Ian Gary getting a number 1 contender fight. I don't care that he took the fights on short notice. You beat Carlos Prates, who I didn't rate that highly. I think Shavkat Rakhmonov, I don't rate him that highly either, but at least he has some wins over Gary, Wonderboy when he was ranked highly, Jeff Neal when he was ranked pretty highly. And Sean Brady is right there waiting for a title shot. So I would say Shavkat saying that he was promised a title shot fucking 3,000 years ago. Sean Brady's probably the rightful number 1 contender, but he's boring, so no one really cares. I think the winner of this is 100% next for JDM. I don't care what Usman, the fucking Malteser head, says. I don't care what Ali Abdelaziz says. The winner of this fight is 110% the guy that I think should be fighting next for the welterweight title. So I would make Shavkat versus Sean Brady. I'd make it a 5-round fight. I'd maybe put it on like an Abu Dhabi pay-per-view card, or I don't even know. Now that's all booked up. Maybe the put this as the co-main event to the Aspinall Gane fight. I think that'd be a great card. If they do Aspinall versus Gane for the heavyweight title, and they put this as the co-main event. Shavkat versus Sean Brady, 5 rounds, winner gets a title shot. Boom. That's a great idea. So that's what I would do with the number 1 contender position. And as for the other 2 people vying for a title shot, the first guy I'll talk about is Kamaru Usman. Bro, you're literally a bum. You literally lost to Leon, bro. Like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? You literally got destroyed by Leon, bro. Bro, you're a bum. Bilal Muhammad, Kamaru Usman, put this on the MSG card. I think that would be a great unk matchup. The winner of this, I mean, let's be real here. I'm not going to say the winner of this gets a title shot. Bilal, you know I love you, bro. If you win this, the UFC is not giving you a fucking rematch for the belt. They do not want you to touch that belt again in your life. So I think Bilal Muhammad, if he wins this, he'll probably get, like, they'll be like, oh, if you go up to middleweight and fight Strickland, we'll give you a title shot against DDP or something like that. But if Kamaru Usman wins this fight, he will be getting a title shot. So I would say Sean Brady versus Shavkat. I would say Kamaru Usman versus Bilal Muhammad is what you should do with Usman. And as for fucking Ian Machado Ferry, dude, I've gone out there and I beat the fucking boogeyman. I got clinched up against the fence by Shavkat. You saw what happened when they all said he was going to finish me. He decided to beat me instead. What do we do with fucking Ian Gary? Because Dana White, he pulled a fucking masterful move. And I got to respect Baldy for this. Because during fight week, he's like, what's the question? Yeah, Ian Gary's next for the title. Ian Gary's getting the title shot. Immediately after JDM wins and he gets these fucking money signs in his eyes and he sees the Islam fight appearing before his eyes. Ian Gary? What's the kid's name? Ian Machado? Yeah, we'll see how this thing plays out. We'll see if this kid's getting a title shot. And he's smiling. Ian Gary is not getting a fucking title shot. I don't think he deserves to fight Sean Brady ahead of Shavkat. I don't think he deserves to fight Kamaru Usman or Bilal Muhammad. I think those guys both deserve to fight each other. Fight Joaquin Buckley. Boom. Winner of this can fight Bilal Muhammad or Sean Brady or Shavkat. You know, Islam Makhachev could fight the winner of this if he loses to JDM. That's what I would do with the welterweight division. I would do Cuck versus Buck. I would do Bilal versus Usman. I'd do Brady versus Shavkat. And obviously, mate, we'd give fucking Islam a fucking whooping in MSG, mate. Popping the jab, the uppercut, the fucking counter left hook. Mate, Islam's a bomb, bro. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's what I would do with the welterweight division, okay? Last one to talk about is the middleweight division. Because honestly, the light heavyweight and the heavyweight division, they're kind of set up, bro. Like, they both have a title fight and a number 1 contender fight set up on the same card. You've got Big Ank versus Alex 2. And on the same card, we've got Yuri versus Khalil. And then right after, we've got Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane. And we've got Almeida versus Volkov. So those divisions are fine as they are. Like, I would say maybe for light heavyweight, you should make, like, Olberg versus Dominic Reyes for a number 1 contender fight. I think that'd be a good matchup. Maybe like Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov, and the winner of that can fight the loser of Yuri versus Khalil. But those 2 divisions are totally fine as they are. So the only 2 fights I need to talk about left are in the middleweight division. And I think Rainier Derrida needs 1 more fight before he gets to the title shot. Now, if Dricus beats Hamzat, bro, I'm not saying Dricus is going to lose to Hamzat, bro. I'm just saying if he doesn't win, then I don't think that Hamzat will fight Dricus, bro. Like, I think that, bro. I think if Dricus wins, bro, he's going to have to defend against Rainier Derrida. But I'm going to pick Hamzat. So I think that if Hamzat wins, we're probably going to get like a Dricus-Hamzat rematch for the belt. And in the meantime, I would love to see Adesanya versus Rainier Derrida. At first, it feels like Rainier Derrida destroys Adesanya. But then I want you to remember that Israel Adesanya's takedown defense against Nasruddin Imavov looked great. That's number 1. His takedown defense against Dricus du Plessis actually didn't look that bad either, especially as he built into the fight. He did have some good moments against DDP and against Imavov, and he KO'd Alex Pereira. And he's way bigger than Robert Whittaker. Like, he's one of the tallest, biggest middleweights. He's bulked the fuck up. Especially in his last 2 fights, he definitely bulked up. I think this is actually a hard fight for Rainier Derrida. I think this would be a good matchup. I do think Rainier Derrida would win this. But I actually think it would be a lot more competitive and entertaining than people think. And I think the winner of this is fighting like Hamzat or DDP for the title shot. If Rainier Derrida wins this, the DDP fight is fucking inevitable. But that's my opinion. Like, to sum up the Dricus gaslighting I was doing before, because I kind of got lost in the impression. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. The CTE fucking kicked in. I totally forgot what I was trying to say. I feel like I'm like a young Chael Sonnen sometimes. Like, I be saying stuff, but I'm not actually saying anything. Basically, if Dricus beats Hamza, I would say Dricus versus Rainier Derrida next is the fight to make, because he's already beat Whitaker, Strickland, Hamza, Izzy, right? Like, that doesn't leave that many options. Like, I guess in Mavov, right? Like, Mavov, Baralio. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah. Damn, I'm fucking right. Yeah, Mavov, Baralio, the winner of that's getting a title shot. So in the meantime, we're going to need Izzy versus Rainier Derrida before the year's over. And then we get the DDP Rainier Derrida Goofball Mania main event. So that's what I would do with Rainier Derrida, because he's right there. And as for my GOAT, Bobby Knuckles, mate. Bobby Knuckles, he was fucking popping the jab. He was fucking flicking up the head kick. He just got hugged, mate. Like fucking Derrida. The guy was just hugging him the whole fight when he got bombed, bro. He fucking robbed him, dude. What do we do with Bobby Knuckles? I think there's only one answer in this division. Strickland, Bobby Knuckles, unction matchup, Celtics Shaq versus fucking 76ers Paul George. That's the fight that the UFC needs to make. Put it in Perth. Oh, actually, yeah, put it in Perth. Yes, dude. Make this the main event of UFC Perth. Boom. Strickland, Whitaker, 5-round jab fest at range. The winner of this is going to be back, and the loser of this is going to be completely done for. That's what I would do with the UFC middleweight division. And that's what I would do with every single weight class and every single title picture. Let me know your opinions in the comments down below. If you agree, if you disagree with me, make sure you guys drop a comment. If you guys are enjoying the videos, make sure you drop a like. Subscribe if you're not already. The channel is growing a lot at the moment, so I really appreciate all the support. And go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA. I will see you guys in the next video, man. Goodbye.